participants, these are the top people in each of their individual categories. At the start of the week, a lot of you came in as individuals. Muchos de ustedes no conocían a otras personas, pero después de esta semana, parecen familia. These past couple of days, we have seen you all work hard and learn to apply the ideologies of the National Hispanic Institute. Our team could not be prouder to have had the chance to work with such a talented and high-achieving group of Latino leaders such as yourselves. I think I speak for every one of our staff members here when I say that we can definitely see a bright future, knowing that all of you will be the ones leading it. Before we go ahead and get things started, there are a couple of individuals I want to go ahead and introduce you all today, either for the first time or reintroduce you. Augustana College has been part of the NHI experience in the Midwest for 20 years. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary here with all of you. Nearly half of NHI's existence has been here at the Midwest Great Debate. We wanted to take this time to thank Augie for his tireless dedication to the work of furthering the Latino community and its youth. We could not complete our work without the efforts of the college system and their continual efforts to contribute to our community. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Liz Nino.
My job at Augustana is to read college applications. My job at Augustana is to determine which of those hundreds of students who apply to college will come here to excel. And I hope you all remember me telling you that one of the key characteristics that we look for in a college application are those opportunities that those students have taken up in leadership, and those students who've gone on to step outside of their comfort zone to do new things and to show and impact their communities. So many of you will go on to top universities in the country, and hopefully many of you consider enrolling at Augustana College, one of the top national liberal arts colleges here in the United States. I know that there are many international students. Are there any international students here at NHI? Woo! Bienvenidos a Augustana. You might not know, but I actually do international missions here at Augustana. So we travel the entire globe, and we recruit students. There are over 400 international students that go to school here at Augustana. So it's truly a global experience. I want to leave you all with one piece of advice, because I think so many high school students think about college and think about the key things setting them apart in the college application would be grades, right? Having straight A's. And I'm here to tell you that the number one thing, what do you guys think is the number one thing that we look for in a college application? We look for grit and determination. So if you're here today and after a great debate, maybe having a little bit of self-doubt, or maybe you weren't in first place, colleges don't care about that. Trust me, there are plenty of students with straight A's. What we look for in the college application is growth. Where did you begin your journey? Where did you end your journey? I want to ask you all, has this last week changed you? Have you had personal growth in this last week? If so, I want you guys to give yourself a round of applause. Simply stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something new, is great. And so I hope that you reflect on this experience, and I hope that throughout your high school experience, that you continue to do things that are new yourself after this week that you can do it. So once again, everyone, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you to Augustana. I am so incredibly proud of all of you for participating at Augustana's great debate. So gracias y bienvenidos otra vez a Augustana y espero verlos aquí pronto en 4 años. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you, Augustana College, for giving the Midwest Great Debate a place to call home for the past 20 years. Now, the next individuals I want to go ahead and present in front of all of you are a group of very special people that mean a lot to me. These people that I'll be introducing to all of you were actually the ones that I saw up on this stage when I was sitting in all of your seats 12 years ago. They were my EPs. They were the ones that actually inspired me to want to go ahead and continue my journey with NHI, continue staffing, and hopefully one day even being on this stage here today with all of you. They helped bring the Midwest Great Debate to Augustana and are alumni of the college, along with the National Hispanic Institute. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage Lidia Ruelas Duran and Miguel Duran.
Buenas tardes. Ok, voy a empezar. Yo soy Lidia Durán, originalmente de Cicero in Berwyn, Illinois. Is anyone from that area? Anyone from Cicero in Berwyn? I'm a graduate of Morton West High School, class of 2001. And I just kind of want to start with a little bit of a story. Quería empezar con una historia. Hace 21 años, yo estaba caminando por esta escuela en uno de los pasillos de los edificios. I was walking down one of the hallways here on campus 21 years ago, and I saw this tall, Latino-looking man walking with one of our admissions counselors at the time at Augustana. I was a student here, and it just struck me as an unfamiliar face. So the admissions counselor introduced me to this man who was visiting Augustana to potentially host this program for a year. I'm proud to say that my husband Miguel and I are back. We traveled all the way from California to be here. Viajamos 2,300 millas para llegar aquí este día para poder celebrar con ustedes el aniversario de 20 años que hemos estado aquí en esta escuela de Augustana. Me recibí de esta escuela tan bella y ojalá esta semana que han pasado estos días aquí se pueden imaginar aquí también porque es un lugar increíble para poder estudiar. Y ustedes tienen este momento, esta semana, de poder ser parte de su experiencia aquí en esta escuela, para mí y para nuestra familia. This school and this organization have meant so much to myself and my family. If it were not for NHI, I would not have met my husband. We met through this organization. I picked up the phone, I called him for the first time to help me with. We have 2 kids together. There's Emily over there. We have Eliseo. And I just want to end with this. I want to thank all of you sitting in the chairs today because all of you are the example to my own kids of what they're going to be doing in about 5 years for Emily and about 9 years for Eliseo. I hope that my 2 kids turn out to be as wonderful and as smart and as determined and as hardworking as all of you. The reason why we traveled these 2,000 miles is so that they could have you as an example for what we want to see in them in just a few years. We count on you, all of you that are sitting in these chairs, to continue this legacy and this program here on this campus. Without the work of all of the volunteers, the fellows, the head coaches, your judges, the educational director who gives his time, if it were not for them, it would not continue. So please see yourself coming back year after year to create this experience for others. And with that, I just want to thank you all.
Mi nombre es Miguel Durán, soy esposo de Lidia, papá de Emily y Eliseo. Primero les quiero pedir perdón por el español de mi esposa, ¿verdad? hicieron este programa posible por ustedes. ¿Okay? Luis se ha esforzado bastante para continuar este programa. Nuestra amiga Liz también para reclutar estudiantes que vengan a esa universidad. Y también les quiero dar gracias porque yo también pasé por este programa. Le quiero dar gracias a todos los head coaches y los counselors. Por favor, denle un aplauso a ellos. Head coaches, I know I look 22, guys, right? But I'm going to be, actually, I just turned 42, all right? But head coaches, I want you guys to know that this is a very hard job. Sometimes you may feel invisible. I did several programs myself, but just know that you are not, and without you, this doesn't happen. And I know why you guys are here. You're not here for you. You're here because something inside of you, when you did your program, made you fall in love with this organization so much, the way it did for me, that you want to keep coming back to contribute. So there's no way that NHI can ever thank you guys, but just know the experiences that you guys have here will last an absolute lifetime. And I hope that you guys can instill that and really benefit from your experience as a volunteer staff. Okay, so one more time, let's give a round of applause. Aguántenme un poquito más, ¿verdad? Por favor. No quiero que, especialmente los que vienen de México, no quiero que me graben o que le manden o que le llamen a sus papás por el WhatsApp y decirle, hey man, dejaron que un cholo viniera aquí a hablar con nosotros, ¿verdad? No soy cholo, soy maestro, al igual que mi esposa, no lo parezco, pero lo soy, ¿ok? Pero yo me acuerdo cuando yo participé en este programa en 1996, que ustedes ni habían, perdón, 98, ustedes ni habían nacido, yo participé en Los Ángeles, en California, y me tomó mucho esfuerzo de parte de mi mamá, primeramente de que me dejara viajar a Los Ángeles, del pueblo de donde estoy en California, para participar en este programa. Y no teníamos el dinero para pagarle el tuition, ¿verdad? Y mi mamá me dijo, pues sí, te doy permiso para que vayas una semana, pero no tengo el dinero. Pero si quieres ir, me vas a ayudar después de que yo salga del trabajo del campo, en los fines de semana, después de la escuela, me vas a ayudar a vender tamales, a vender pan, y así vas a el dinero que tú me ayudes es tuyo y tú vas a poder ir al programa. Y así lo hice, ¿verdad? Le ayudé a mi mamá, agarré el dinero, me compré mi corbata, me compré ropa que ya no me queda obviamente, ¿verdad? Pero, y asistí al programa, y era la experiencia de mi vida que hasta la fecha, a partir de tener a mis hijos, a casarme con mi linda esposa, ¿verdad? Nada en mi vida ha igualado la experiencia, mi primera experiencia que yo tuve en mi programa en NHI. So, con eso, por favor, les pido que ojalá si les gustó este programa, los quiero animar para que participen en el que viene, el LDC, y luego el CWS, y más que nada, esta escuela Augustana ha sido una maravilla para mi esposa. A mí me encanta aquí también, la trató muy bien a mi esposa, la ha tratado muy bien a Liz y a muchos estudiantes que han pasado por esta escuela. Ojalá que les den consideración y cuando ya se reciban ustedes en high school, en regresar y aplicar a esta escuela para hacer sus estudios aquí, ¿ok? Allá sus tierras de México, siempre va a estar allí, siempre va a estar Jalisco, siempre va a estar la Ciudad de México, ¿ok? Chicago will always be there, Bourbon will always be there, right? Wherever you come from, it will always be there. I really hope you guys consider Augustana because this institution has dedicated the past 20 plus years to hosting NHI programs, and not many schools do that because they believe in the power that you students can contribute to this school, but to the world as well. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, good luck in the finals. Give it all you got. Leave it all out here, okay? Because this is the last chance you're going to have, all right? So, good luck to all of you guys. Thank you.
Wow, that felt like being a kid. That gave me some flashbacks. But I know you're all ready to find out who will participate in this year's 2024 Midwest Great Debate Finals. So with that, please join me in welcoming to the stage your tournament director, Karina Martinez.
started, I have a little surprise for all of you. You have all worked so tirelessly, and I know that there are some people in our crowd who are so excited to join you. With that said, JFLs, thank you for putting in the work this week. Without your efforts, we could have not made it through the week. Please give a round of applause for this year's 2024 Midwest Great Debate JFLs. I appreciate you being my judges, but you're the JFLs first. You may now return to your teams.
No, Fana was like the whole time. You guys gonna come back with the picture?
Yeah. We were standing there just waiting for that.
I know this is super exciting, but we also have the finals. We're going to spend the rest of the day with the JFLs, I promise. Now, I would like to introduce you to your tournament judges. So please give me a warm welcome in recognizing the final judges for the Midwest Great Debate. Your Educational Director, Luis Jauregui. Your SSO, Gustavo Gavillo. Your Associate Educational Director, Ariane de la Torre. Now, to start the time that you have all been waiting for, we're going to be starting with extemporaneous speaking. So, if I call your name, please come up to the stage. Actually, gather everything that you need because you're going to go straight to the draw room. Someone will lead you to the draw room, and then we will begin the 30-minute draw. So, also, please gather everything that you will need. You can't come back. Now, your finalist, your first finalist from the 2024 Midwest Great Debate in the category of extemporaneous speaking is from 24 Amigos, Rob Orlovsky. Okay, and your second finalist from the Gods of the Great Debate. Okay, now for the prompt. These two participants will be answering this question and giving us the speeches. Your prompt is, by the way, you have to write it down because it's in the drawer. You don't have to. I just don't want you to like trying to write it down while saying it. What social narratives do you believe are the most important to implement in your communities after your Great Debate experience? You're now dismissed to the drawer. While they're in the gather everything that you will need for the round and come up on stage. Your first team of cross-examination is from King Julian and his horse, Alejandro Tamariz and Emilio Soto.
Did you know that according to the Latino Donor Collaboration, 41% of U.S. Latinos do not feel represented in the media? Good afternoon, Judge. My name is Ariel Dominguez Castillo, and this is my partner, Emiliano Gustavo. And the result that we are tasked with today is that the Latino community should no longer use the increased recognition of Latino public figures as an accurate representative metric for the community's overall progress. Our value is portrayal, and our value criterion is positive change. This correlates to fundamental number 21, leading and serving others. We can serve the Latino community by hosting communal events, meetings, and activities. By doing this, we are able to hear from Latinos themselves about what problems they face. For example, one of the many issues that Latino face is misrepresentation in the media. To make a positive change, you must know what you want to change. For this reason, public figures are disconnected from the community because they don't know what opportunities for change the community needs. Due to the social hierarchy, people from the Latino community feel that their voice is invalid, which causes them to be trapped into a looping cycle. For this reason, we must separate public figures from the face of the community and thus letting the Latino community represent itself in its own equity. According to NPR, only 7% of workers in the media are Latino, and only 3% are Latina. This quote shows that Latinos are few in the media and are inaccurately represented. Our overall progress cannot be shown due to this inaccuracy. Now, the power is in our hands, and it's up to us to change the script and move towards a positive portrayal of the Latino community, because if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Again, please hold your applause until the end of the round. I know it's exciting, but we have to go.
Can you repeat, please?
My values portrayal,
And your value criteria?
positive change,
Can you explain more your contentions, please?
my intention,
Contentions.
positive change. So something that positively represents and shows that the community is evolving.
Okay. Can you give me like more specific details, please?
Positive changes. So when we list the communal events, activities, and meetings, you're talking about the change that needs to happen in the community. For example, parents want education for their kids, but sometimes the public figures don't want or don't listen to their voice.
Okay, thank you. And what is the connection? What is your connection with social narratives?
Social narratives. Repeat the definition of social narratives.
Is your perspective of the community?
My perspective.
Yeah. What is your connection?
As I stated, my perspective of the community, our perspective of the community is that
Judges, members of the jury, my name is Alejandro Lamaris. I'm with my partner Emilio Soto. We're part of the opposition. Okay, so first of all, how can you ensure that people who attend the meetings and moreover, how can be shared with other people? How do you make sure you can't really know if other people will try to learn from those meetings? You mentioned that Latinos are not really felt represented. You didn't give any evidence about it. So you're just saying a general opinion that you believe that Latinos are not felt represented, which you didn't prove to me. Also, for the past history, we've always had a leader, a public figure, someone to get the communities involved, to go forward. So if what you want is to not have that, are we actually evolving or just going back to the time? Now you mentioned about education is related to public figures. Public figures don't want to kind of relate to the community. That connection wouldn't really make sense Just so you have your own perspective, your own personal opinion on what has to be done. Your two opinions doesn't mean what the communities actually mean, what has to be done in order for every center. So the way we're going now, we're still evolving, we're making better communities, and we're slowly changing our social narratives so that everyone is well represented. There are also many good examples of public figures that can represent cultures, traditions, and many other things. I can give you some specific examples, maybe like in the music industry or in movies. In the music industry, I can mention maybe Shakira. That if you think about Shakira and think about her country, Colombia, you think that they are very energetic, very good people. And we also talk about Messi, that you might believe. If you think about Messi, you think about Argentina, and you think of their community, very passionate about everything. And this all shows that good public figures will make our community and our society evolve towards a better future. Thank you.
Do you believe change is necessary for growth? You talk about public figures, correct?
Yeah.
You talk about positive public figures, correct?
Yes.
Could you agree that there are some negative public figures as well?
It's very likely more positive than bad. There are
What?
both sides.
But there are still negative public figures, correct?
Yes.
You talk about how we should look up to these public figures, correct?
Yes.
You talk about how these public figures represent us, correct?
Yes.
And you also just said that there are negative public figures, correct?
Depends on the figures, it depends what you consider.
But there still are negative public figures.
Yes, there are.
Okay. So if there are negative public figures, why are they representing us?
There are, we're trying to tell you that there are no figures in each one represents itself. We still create a general idea because there are also bad people. You don't need a bad public figure, maybe there are bad people. So we have less bad consequences, we have good.
Yes, thank you. Could you agree that the youth looks up to public figures?
Come in.
Could you agree that the youth looks up to public figures?
Can you say your words?
Does the youth look up to public figures?
Yeah, so they take them as inspiration to achieve their goals.
They take them as inspiration, correct? They take them as inspiration, correct?
They can.
So if there are negative public figures, the youth takes them as inspiration as well?
No, they take good public figures because they have great goals in life. And bad public figures, they don't really lift up like good public figures. They don't help them reach their goals.
Well, why can't you speak for the youth? Why can't you speak for these youth?
That's fine. Remember at the end of it, we now have 2 minutes for prayer.
mentioned that our true opinions did not represent the whole community. But then why were they public figures represent the whole community? Because in their words, their opinions don't represent us. So why are we represented by them? That point is invalid that our perspective does not represent the whole community. If these public figures, their perspective does not represent the whole community. You also talked about how we didn't have evidence to back up that Latinos not feeling represented in the media. Well, we did. We clearly stated, and it's on our evidence packet in the beginning, 41% of Latinos do not feel represented when it comes to the media. As my partner was talking about education and hope to the youth, you talked about how the youth looks up to these public figures. But the youth also looks up to these negative public figures. And these positive public figures that you were talking about, I don't see that change. In my own community, in Chicago, we've seen mass immigrants come to our city, and the youth, they go to these schools, they can't learn because of the language barrier. These public figures that you speak of, I don't see any of that. They're still struggling, and they can't get the education that they need to grow and flourish. And us as a Latino community and our youth, we deserve that. We deserve to grow, because these young minds are precious, and we need to protect them. The Latinos for themselves, we get caught in the cycle of the media. We see these negative public figures represent us, and it has a negative effect on the Latino image. We talked about how we're moving forward. No, we're moving backwards. So right now, the majority of the Latino community, their perspective is gang makers, thugs. That's not what it should be. That's not right. Our image should be a strong, capable, and resilient community. That's not what it is right now. So we still need to grow, we still need to improve, and by doing so, we must separate the public figures from the face of the Latino community.
I think our way is better because when you put or add a lot of people as face of the community or as public faces, you can make a lot of mistakes and don't take the path to where you want to get because you don't know who to follow and what steps you need to take to get successful. If we as a community have a public face, we can follow a path and be very successful and achieve our goals because we know how to get there because he can be our example. We want that our public faces are good examples for our community and good people that take healthy choices and things like that. Like Messi does football and he is like the best of all because he's the best, you know. In conclusion, we want to have a good figure so the younger people can follow a healthy path and a successful path. And we want that a good public figure represents our values. We want their acts and values to represent us as a community, not their opinions. And public figures can represent their communities because they grow there and they know their values and their culture. So we want to put people that grow from there and know what to change to make the community something better for the younger generations and the generations to come. Thank you.
You said, and I quote, we want their acts and values to represent us. So that goes with public and negative figures. So you want these negative figures to represent our community. You want their bad actions to bring down the Latino community. We're talking about change. You're saying how the youth are looking at examples. I'm not saying that. I'm actually saying the exact opposite. You said we should use these public figures as a guide. Well, yes, the youth is looking at these public figures and they're going into a bad light. In my own community, my own friend, a year older than me, he was shown, he looked up to these negative public figures. And 3 weeks ago, he got shot and died due to gang violence. So we're looking towards these public figures to represent us. But no, they cannot actively represent us due to this social hierarchy where the 1% is representing the other 99. That's not fair. That's not fair to us and to the Latino community. We're better than that, and we all know that.
Porque nunca me ensinou esse podcast, então consegue.
Let's have another round of applause for your cross-examination finalists. I would now like to invite to the stage your Athenium director, Mariana Landon. Now, your finalists from the Athenium are secret for category. Starting with, from House Magnolia, the Great Popes.
Super excited to see this first set of finalists up here. Before we start, I really want to explain what Athenium is. So, Athenium is a separate category in which we invited our participants to enter into and have a separate set of conversations. They were utilizing the skills that they were developing in their original categories, and they were utilizing them in a new sense of the ability to generate new technology, the ability to utilize their technological advancements in order to develop new arguments and new sets of slogans. Right? So, to talk about the Athenian challenge. Essentially, the idea is NHI has a slogan, NHI has a message, right? We are NHI, yo soy NHI. And the challenge for this year is asking our participants to develop their own slogan, to see what kind of slogan they can utilize in order to develop a new social narrative or new explanation for what NHI can be. And so this helps us to explain it and allow for the first set of finalists come up and present their arguments. So, feel free to take a few moments to read through that. And before we begin, the folks, are you all ready? All right. We are now set to begin.
Hola a todos, somos los Great Folks, Renata, Matías Orozco, Matías Rosales y yo.
El eslogan que nosotros trajimos es NHI Cultivating Leaders Building the Future with Pride and Excellence.
Lo que tiene relacionado nuestro eslogan con el libro de 3D Reality es como menciona el autor el propósito de NHI, y su propósito es buscar eliminar todos los estereotipos existentes para que al final todos los participantes puedan tener las mismas oportunidades, experiencias y llegar a ser grandes líderes.
Nosotros elegimos al Papa porque creemos que marcó un antes y un después en nuestra historia latinoamericana, siendo el primer Papa latinoamericano. Para nosotros y para el eslogan que elegimos, el futuro que marca el Papa Francisco es una parte muy importante de nuestra elección.
En nuestro video realizamos una entrevista al head coach Julián.
Hello, we are the Great Folks. Hello, welcome. Today we're going to have a really amazing interview with this head coach Julian. What do you have to say for your team for the future?
Well, for my team, I'm really proud of them. I'm really sorry. You're all teammates. Hopefully, this such as a new hope of the leader of the free world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julian. So tell us, Matías, what are you thinking about?
Okay, so based on what Julian mentioned, we made the next slogan. NHI Cultivating Leaders Building the Future with Pride and Excellence.
Such amazing words.
Well, what do you mean from that slogan?
Well, the message that we are trying to transmit with this slogan is that NHI, instead of just doing a competition just based on who is the winner, they are trying to encourage the leadership of all of the participants. Inspiring, right?
Okay, so we chose the Pope because he's a leader for us and he has the NHI classes because he supports us.
Thank you so much.
So as you can see, there's a lot of great creativity, a lot of great innovation, and I'm excited to see the rest of them. Are we ready for the next finalists for our Athenium category?
Yeah.
Next up, from House Maxwell, Team Voz Latina.
Good afternoon, my name is Isabel Sanchez and I'm here with my team, Voz Latina, Ariana, Billy, and Jackie. Our slogan is break down barriers to strengthen heritage. And by having strength in our heritage, us and NHI and Latino communities are able to have trust and grow together as a whole. This will demonstrate how us Latinos aren't weak and can break down barriers such as the stereotypes of Latinos being dangerous and low class. We can break down barriers such as language, education, and prejudice barriers. As my dad used to observe, depende quien tiene la lápiz en la mano. It depends on who is holding the pen. By breaking these barriers that Latinos struggle with, it will build confidence in our communities and allow for us to grow. Thank you.
One thing I value is accountability, and your slogan by breaking down barriers helps our community grow and flourish. It also helps change the negative narrative from the Latino community to a positive one. And by doing so, we can grow not just the community, but the narrative perception around us.
Our slogan can positively impact the Latino community. Somos todos latinas.
Last one for Athenium College. Drum roll, please. From House Magnolia, the united, not the divided. Please come to the stage.
Hi everyone, our group is comprised of me, Jalen, Scarlett, Daniel, Yomio, and Donovan. In the U.S., individualism is encouraged. However, this is not reality for the Latino community. Our slogan is, united we stand and divided we fall. We chose this because it has shown the difference between the two perspectives and promoted unity within the face of diversity.
States, I had heroes in the neighborhood to emulate, was aware of people and methods to avoid, and led a happy family life with my two brothers and parents.
The quote that Scarlett just talked about connects to our idea because without the family support he got, he might have not done what he did.
Our family, especially those who have immigrated to the U.S., do everything they can to give back to the community and families.
Additionally, when we work together, everybody feels a sense of belonging, which promotes equity and the Latino community.
Hey there, I'm Jayla Martinez with NHITV performing street interviews. NHI's new slogan is United We Stand, Divided We Fall. First, let's check in with a few of our experts.
So Jayla, United We Stand states Latinos who work together and support each other. Divided we fall means that we can thrive on our own and experiences are going to be shared.
Thank you. And now we'd like to hear from a few pedestrians. So who am I here with today?
I'm Daniel Rosales, and the world point of view of what he just said would be that when the earthquakes in Mexico City happened, a lot of the residents went outside their homes to go help those who got injured.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was listening
Well, it really does seem that united we stand, divided we fall. Reporting from NHITV, this is Jalen Martinez.
Want to give one more shout out to our Athenium category. I had the great honor of working with them throughout this morning and just seeing these final projects. Absolutely. So now I will hand it back to Karina to talk about it.
Hey everyone, it's been about 30 minutes, which means our finalist extempers are done the draw run and are ready to give us their speeches. So, let's welcome back to the stage your two extemporary speaking finalists, Rob Orlovsky and Andrea Castillo. As a reminder, the prompt is, what social narratives do you believe are the most important to implement in your communities after your Great Debate experience? Okay. I'm going to flip my imaginary coin again. It's all heads. It's heads. Would you like to speaker one or speaker two? Speaker two. Okay. So speaker one, and speaker two. Speaker one, you have 4 to 5 minutes for your presentation. Try to get it completed.
Hello, my name is Andrea Castillo and I'm from Mexico City. The question was, how can I implement social narratives in my community, and what are the ones I prefer and I believe in? First of all, I want to start with telling you the meaning of social narratives. Social narratives are the way people view you or their point of view about you after getting to know you. This great debate has been all about them. We as Latinos have been misjudged by lots of people around the world. We have been told that we have to stick to a certain status quo. But that is enough. We need to start taking risks and putting ourselves out there. And if someone can do it, that's why I'm here. For me to be your voice. Here at NHI, I have learned so many new things, such as how to be a great leader and what our community has gone through. For example, the civil rights movement. While Latinos were being drafted, whites were given academic, economic, and social advantages. I ask you, is that okay? Of course not. The attitudes and behaviors are what lead our perspectives about us, attitudes and behaviors like this ones. But lesson learned be learned. Ernesto Nieto said, the challenge of equality and equity was testing core views of the nation and its founding beliefs. That is why I believe that equity should be implemented. Since we are young, we are not asking to view us as better. We just want to have the rights and possibilities as anyone else. And let me tell you, all of us standing here in this room are more than fortunate to be a part of NHI. Because now we know how to speak up and lead those that need us. Also, I want to state NHI's fundamental number 1 that says, act with integrity. We need to show everyone, but more specifically ourselves, the commitment we have in doing the right thing. As I stated in the beginning, social narratives are the way people view you, or their point of view about Yeah. What I mean by taking risks, it is to set free of the mindset people have implemented in us in the past years. To change is scary. People never know what to do when change comes to them. That is why it's taking a risk, to change your mindset. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Roberto, and the most important social narratives to implement into our community is the idea that we as a people are not below humans, that our voices deserve to be heard just as much as other communities. It's because we have so many people with so many things to say, evident by every single person in this room. Oftentimes, we've been told that we're criminals, that we're druggies. To this, I reference a quote by former President Donald Trump. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists. Now, this is further backed up by the Latino threat narrative. The Latino threat narrative is defined as a form of narrative where someone encodes his or her language with perceptions of Latino immigrants being a threat to American society. So often, we've been told that we're threats, that we're dangerous. However, and that the idea that this narrative of ours would devalue our opinions in society. However, we are so much more than that. We're so much more than what we've been told. According to Ernesto Nieto's book, The Third Reality, more Latinos and Latinas are also in policy-making positions, managing the expenditure of public and private resources. Now, as we begin to implement the idea that we are just as valuable as other communities, we have begun making incredible strides in our progress in our community. Whether it be through NHI, through scholarships, through Head Start programs, or through better school funding, we are paving our own way in this world, in this country. We are as capable and we are as hardworking as anyone else. We have done so much fighting with so little support and without being even given a chance, without being given the same opportunities, without being seen in the same light as everyone else. Latino people are 1.5 times more likely to be persecuted and arrested for the same crime as a white person. This systematic oppression that we've been facing ever since the start of this country, which has been intended by the Founding Fathers, we were not meant to own anything, nor were anyone else that converges from typical white American culture. We are so great and we are so strong when we are together. However, we are so constantly being divided and we are being swept under the rug. It is so important that we have to do this for ourselves, that we have to shape this path and create our own narrative. Another quote from Ernesto Nieto's book. As my dad used to observe, depende quien a lápiz en la mano. For so long, we've had the pen taken from our hands, and we've had our story written by someone else. However, it is time that we have our turn with the pen, and we have our turn to write our own narrative. And finally, before I finish my speech, I would like to acknowledge the fact that this is not my decision alone, that there are so many voices that need to be heard,
and that there is no one person with one right answer for our community. It is so important that we work together to reshape our reality, and so that we are not below anyone else. No further time needed. Thank you.
In your speech, you mentioned some names or stereotypes people have implemented us. But how can people living with these realities get rid of them?
Many people living in this reality have been forced into it. People do not choose to live on the streets. People do not choose to deal drugs. They are forced into this reality, whether it be through a bad start or traumatic incidents in one's life. Through better educational opportunity, as previously mentioned in the speech, we can work to help push up the struggling members of our society and of our community. Thank you. Las mujeres no van a la guerra. Las mujeres no son fuertes. ¿Qué sienten cuando les diga algo así? ¿Alguna vez han sufrido alguna injusticia? Cualquiera, puede ser por raza, por género, incluso hasta por tus propios gustos. Pues a mí, Amanda Muro, me ha llegado a pasar. De chica, entré a un equipo de fútbol en el que fui la única niña en todo el equipo. Y pues sí, llegué a recibir no uno, ni dos, ni tres, varios comentarios al respecto no muy agradables. Y eso que estamos en el 2024. Ahora, imagínense esta misma situación en 1900, cuando la mujer era vista como alguien débil, como alguien que no tenía que trabajar, que si se quedaban viudas, ya no tenían para mantenerse, ya no tenían un vehículo donde transportarse, comida, un techo donde dormir. ¿Se imaginan estar en esta situación? Bueno, este tipo de situaciones, este tipo de injusticias que todos hemos vivido, es una triste realidad. Sería mentira decir que nadie ha vivido una sola injusticia en su vida. Esta es la verdadera historia de Adela Velarde Pérez, más conocida como Adelita, una mujer que fue en contra de la sociedad, una mujer que venció todos los estereotipos, una mujer que para ese tiempo fue una mujer, un héroe para mí, como en la historia de México, y me quedo corta de Latinoamérica, que desde chica demostró ser una niña muy intrépida y sobresalió transmitiendo esa alegría contagiosa y su permanente inquietud y curiosidad, que a tan solo sus 3 años de edad entró a la carrera y que poco después, a sus 15 años, se unió al ejército para ser una enfermera, y ahí estuvo con más mujeres atendiendo a todos los soldados heridos. ¿Qué tendría que estar haciendo una niña de 15 años en temas de guerra? Digo, es una situación prematura para su edad, ¿cierto? Además, si se requería, Adelita salía al campo de batalla a luchar junto con todos los hombres. Poco a poco se convirtieron en las soldaderas. Adelita, una persona que tuvo gran impacto en la sociedad y dejó un gran legado. Tanto así que ahora a las soldaderas se les llama Adelitas. Como dice el fundamento número 2 de NHI, Treasure, Protect and Promote Our Legacy. A pesar de las contribuciones de nuestro país, no fue reconocida. Fue hasta después de 20 años que fue reconocida. E incluso hicieron una maqueta en conmemoración de ella. Can you imagine in a world where gender equality or equality wasn't like today? How could a woman be seen? Simply, how many women enter engineering careers, or how many are hired from jobs like this? All these changes that Adelita made, going against the opinion and standards of that time, make her a hero, because she had a life, she had a voice, and she raised her voice. I mean, what would happen if Adelita hadn't raised her voice? Maybe one Mexican wouldn't be in NHI. Maybe I wouldn't be here. So we all have a life. We all have a voice. We too can raise our voices. I want to tell, as well as I identify with Adelita, maybe future generations can identify with her as I do. Finally, I just wanted to mention that the ABO process will hold me questioning me. Why do you need to hear me talking about Adelita? What measure do I want to speak? And like Adelita said, actuar es fácil cuando la voluntad no se nos impone, pero actuar en su contra, eso es difícil. Thanks.
The story of this athlete is a testimony to the power of determination, exemplarity, and someone who helps their community to be more confident in themselves, as well as an example to follow. Her name of this athlete is Extemporaneous. Hi, my name is Julio. I'm from Mexico City. I introduce myself as an active part of the Latino community. Today, I will talk about this great gymnast who has defined expectations and broken barriers in a sport that historically is not dominated by Latinos. She has shown that despite challenges and problems, Latinos can compete at the same level as other countries. You might be asking yourself, why do I say problems or challenges? Well, Latinos, unfortunately, in Latin American countries, in most of the Latin American countries, athletes do not have enough support, enough financial support of their countries, like the financial support. An example of this is that according to today's sports, un atleta olímpico mexicano gana 13,000 pesos, lo cual no es nada, ya que tienes que ir a varias competencias internacionales y nacionales y tienes que comprar todo lo que tengas que comprar para todo. Ella es una gimnasta que, a pesar de los obstáculos, busca apoyo no tan solo financiero, apoyo de su país y el respeto. En los Juegos Olímpicos de Río 2016, Alexa Moreno fue duramente criticada por su apariencia física, ya que no cumplía con los estereotipos de una gimnasta, que es ser flaca y ser flaca. Lo más interesante y lo más impactante de esto fue que estos comentarios vinieron de su propio país. Lo que me gustó es que ella tomó una posición impactante, como el fundamento de 6 de NHI, el cual nos dice, diviértete y sé positivo. Ella tomó esto para, más que algo negativo, un impulso para decir, está bien encajar en los estereotipos. Durante este proceso, durante este usé el I Believe process y me fui preguntando, ¿qué realmente impacta Alexa Moreno? ¿Qué impacto tiene en nuestra sociedad? ¿Qué impacto tiene en la comunidad latina? Bueno, recientemente hice una investigación donde una revista nomina a 100 mujeres mexicanas destacadas en diferentes disciplinas. Y este pasado junio, Alexa Moreno fue nominada por su disciplina en gimnasia artística. Al ser un líder, muchas de las veces pasan situaciones con las que no nos sentimos cómodos o no es de nuestro agrado. Siento que Alexa Moreno me ha ayudado a ver el lado positivo, no solo siendo un líder o un atleta, sino viendo el lado positivo de cualquier aspecto de la vida. Alexa Moreno se ha vuelto una inspiración para miles de jóvenes, incluyéndome, inspirando a varios atletas olímpicos también. Ella principalmente es reconocida por su determinación y constancia. De hecho, tanto impacto tiene que es la única mujer latinoamericana en ganar una medalla en cualquier mundial de gimnasia artística. Después de este momento, Alexa logró callar las bocas de aquellos que la criticaron en los pasados Juegos Olímpicos, así ganando el respeto y el amor de su país, inspirando así a miles de jóvenes a perseguir sus sueños y recordarles que todo es posible con perseverancia y esfuerzo. Para mí, esta gimnasta me ayudó, ya que anteriormente pasé por una lesión donde casi tiro la toalla en la gimnasia. Y Alexa Moreno me ayudó a ver el lado positivo de esto, ya que en los Juegos Olímpicos de Tokio 2020 ella compitió con una lesión de rodilla y no tiró la toalla y siguió adelante, lo cual me identifica mucho, ya que me logró que yo siguiera en la gimnasia y no me diera por vencido. El impacto de Alexa no solo va por su carrera deportiva, sino recientemente el libro Alexa Moreno, singular y extraordinaria, nos mostró que llegar a las grandes ligas, como son las Olimpiadas, es difícil, sacrificando tiempo y dinero. Pero siento que ella mostró la verdadera medida del éxito, que es la capacidad de caerse, levantarse y seguir adelante. Gracias.
Your question for this round is, how can you personally plan to make as much of an impact on the Latino community as your person or event? ¿Cómo puede planear personalmente a lograr
mismo impacto en la comunidad latina que su persona o evento. You have 1 minute to prepare. En español inglés. ¿Cómo puede planear personalmente al lograr el mismo impacto en la comunidad latina que su persona o evento?
Que muchas veces sufrimos injusticias y nos quedamos totalmente callados. También la demostró que es una persona, una mujer fuerte, que marcó un gran legado en México y que que fue en contra de todos los estereotipos. Fue tan importante que a las soldaderas se les llaman adelitas actualmente. Y para ser una niña de 15 años se metió a luchar y aún así siguió. Por eso es que me gustó compartir la historia de Adelita hoy, porque estoy en NHITV con todos ustedes. Así puedo compartirles esta historia y hacerles saber que el ir en contra de los estereotipos, el ir en contra de lo que la sociedad dice, no está mal y que está bien intentarlo y alzar nuestra voz. Retiro mi tiempo.
Alexa Moreno tuvo un gran impacto en nuestra sociedad como latinos y como para una atletas. Siento que ella alzó la voz siendo una gimnasta que fue duramente criticada en este aspecto, que el estereotipo que ella tenía que seguir lo rompió y nos enseñó que está bien, además de que aprendió de sus errores, que se me hace lo más importante. Aprendió que a caerse, levantarse y seguir adelante, para seguir luchando en contra de todas las velocidades que se nos meten en el camino. Ser seres humanos está bien, porque ser seres humanos significa cometer errores y aprender de ellos. No creo que por algo le llaman la mejor gimnasta de México. Gracias.
This officially concludes the Midwest Grade Debate Tournament. I would like to welcome to the stage your Assistant Educational Director, Ariana de la Rosa, to tell what comes next.
Hello everyone, as Karina said, this is the close to our 2024 Midwest Grade Debate Tournament. I'm so excited that I was able to be judged in these 3 rounds, and it was really great seeing and all of our work. So for the next couple of things, we are going to close out the ceremony for tonight. We're going to have the opportunity to kind of debrief in our teams, and we will communicate to your head coaches the next couple steps. All right? So give yourselves